My dear, precious child, you are chosen. Listen, lean closer than you think you ever must, because what I'm about to tell you carries the hush of stars and the steady beat of oceans. There are things that have been loud in your life, noises that pulled at your attention, and fears that demanded answers. But there is one quiet truth that matters more than those noises, and tonight I will press it into the center of your hands so you can feel its warmth. You were chosen before your first breath, before your first thought, and before the world had a chance to shape your edges. I marked you with a name and a purpose that no one else can carry. This choosing is not about worthiness measured by the world. It is a decision that rests on the steadiness of my love. You are chosen not because of what you have done, but because of who you are in my sight. A treasure I keep and a story I am writing in soft, patient ink. When you doubt, remember that choosing is not a reward for the strong. It is a declaration to the broken, the weary, the wandering. You matter. There are seasons, child, when it will feel as if everything else matters more. Success, approval, loud applause, these can scream for your life. They will promise fullness and call themselves your destiny. But hear me. The things that matter most are quieter. They will not storm your gates or flash their banners for you to follow. These things will appear in small rooms, in simple meals, in gentle apologies, in the hands you hold and the forgiveness you offer. They will ask for patience and ask for courage, not for celebrities and platforms. Do not confuse the noise with the compass. The world will hand you maps with jagged edges and bright neon signs that say, "This way is enough. Buy this, achieve that, become someone who is never seen as small." I tell you now, the compass that will never fail is the steady pull toward love, toward truth, toward mercy. This compass will sometimes point you toward hard choice. To say no when everyone says yes. To stand alone when the crowd moves toward comfort. To forgive when your heart wants to hold a grudge. These decisions might look small to others, but they are the hinges on which your life swings. You were made to be in relationship with me and with others. Relationship is the soil where everything that matters grows. Do not abandon it for the mirage of independence. True strength is not the absence of need. It is the willingness to be known, to be held, to let your heart be fragile, and to speak the truth gently. Community will teach you humility and courage both. Find people who will tell you the hard truths with the softest voice. Build your life around those who point you back to what matters. I see every tear you have kept in the dark because you believed no one would notice. I see the nights when you wrapped your worries in silence and tried to sleep them away. Those tears are not wasted. They water places in you that need breaking open so new growth can come. Do not be ashamed of your seasons of sorrow. They are the soil for resilience. When you are tempted to hide your pain, remember that sharing it with someone who loves you does not make you weak. It makes your burden shared and your step lighter. There will be temptations to believe that productivity equals worth. You will be told that your value is in your output, what you make, what you show, what you can put on a resume. I remind you, people are not products. Your worth is measured in heartbeats, not accomplishments. It is measured in the quiet way you sit with a friend who cries, the simple choice to choose honesty over image, the small acts of faithfulness that no camera will see. Let your life be a collection of those soft, faithful moments. Your voice matters more than you think. The words you speak can bend the world a little toward healing or push it farther into pain. Choose words that build. Choose sentences that bring light. Speak truth with kindness, correction with tenderness, and encouragement with clarity. If you cannot say anything that will build up, learn the art of silence that listens. There is power in listening that is often overlooked. When you sit with people and hear their stories without interrupting, you give them a space to breathe, and that space can become a beginning. There is a work inside you that is patient and slow. It does not demand overnight transformations. It asks for steady things, patience in the daily tasks, faithfulness when the reward is invisible, humility to be taught again and again. Do not be deceived by a culture that celebrates instant results. The deepest changes in the heart almost always arrive like dawn, slow, unnoticed at first, then undeniable. Your endurance matters more than your speed. Keep showing up. Sow the small seeds of goodness and water them with prayer, with practice, with love, and time will bring a harvest. Forgiveness is a currency of the brave. To forgive does not mean you forget the harm or that the pain was trivial. Forgiveness means you refuse to let the injury define the rest of your story. It is a decision to release the poison that wants to dwell in your bones. Some will tell you that forgiving is naive, but I say forgiveness is strength refined by mercy. It frees you to move forward unshackled by bitterness. When you forgive, you reclaim your peace. Gratitude is a light that changes how your eyes see the world. In the smallest things, in morning cups of warmth, in the sound of rain, in hands that hold yours. Practice saying thank you. Gratitude will not fix your troubles, but it will change your posture toward them. It will open your eyes to the goodness that exists even in pain. A heart that remembers to be thankful will never be poor, for it keeps a treasure chest full of little joys. Be courageous in love. Love will ask you to risk, to be vulnerable, to give without calculation. When you love, you give pieces of yourself away and yet find yourself more whole. Do not mistake self-preservation for wisdom. There is a tenderness that asks you to open, to be real, to let another see your imperfections, and in that realness, you will discover a bond deeper than any shield could grant you. Let love be your brave habit. Work, child, has dignity, but do not idolize it. Work is a gift that lets you participate in creation, brings rhythm to your days, and provides for your needs. But do not let career define your identity. Rest is holy. Sabbath is not just a rule. It is a mercy. There will be times when you must step back, breathe, and simply be. Those pauses replenish your soul and sharpen your vision. Remember that you are not more valuable on your busiest days than on your quiet ones. When fear knocks, do not let it govern your choices. Fear will invent catastrophes to keep you safe in smallness. It will whisper that risk equals ruin. I ask you instead to weigh courage against fear, to choose the path that leads to life. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to act in spite of it. Take small steps. Practice boldness in low-risk things, and let that practice teach you how to be brave in larger arenas. The world opens to those who are willing to try. Your dreams are not trivial. They are seeds I placed in you, fragile and faithful. Tend them with discipline, humility, and joy. Dreams sometimes require seasons of hidden work before they can be seen. Do not be dismayed if your dream seems slow to arrive. Often the waiting seasons are for your character, softening, strengthening, teaching you to steward the dream when it comes. Protect your dream from envy, from loud cynicism, and from the thinking that comparison is a reliable compass. When disappointment comes, and it will, do not let it harden your heart. Disappointment is a door to deeper wisdom when you do not slam it shut. Ask what it teaches you. Sometimes disappointment redirects. Sometimes it humbles. Sometimes it wakes you to truth. Allow it to do its quiet, painful work, and do not rush to cover it with busyness or charm. There is value in feeling the ache. In that feeling, you are taught empathy. Honesty is a gift you must give yourself. Be honest about your needs, your failures, your longing. Speak your truth with softness, but do not diminish it to keep peace that hollows you out. The people meant for you will welcome your authenticity. Those who do not are not meant to anchor your soul. Build relationships where truth can live, where mistakes can be confessed and forgiven, and where honesty is the air breathed between you. Kindness costs little and yields much. Be generous with it. In a world that often rewards hardness, let your hands be soft. Help people when you can, even in ways that go unnoticed. Kindness is contagious. A small act can start a chain that reshapes a life. Be the person who notices the lonely one in the room, who sends a message to the friend who is silent, who offers a meal without expecting repayment. Your kindness will be remembered long after the flashy achievements fade. Guard your heart against bitterness disguised as righteousness. It is easy to get angry and call it justice. Anger can be necessary, but if it sits and ferments, it becomes something else, bitter and heavy. Bring your anger into the light. Let it be refined by truth and mercy. Do not let your hurt define your posture toward everyone. Keep your heart soft even when you are firm. Prayer is not a last resort. It is the first resource. Speak to me as you would to someone who knows you better than you know yourself, because I do. Prayer is not a list of demands, but a conversation of belonging. Bring your joys, your confusions, your small daily choices. Prayer molds your inner world and reorients you toward what matters. In the quiet of prayer, you will find clarity and the courage to act on it. Take care of your body. It is a home given to you. Eat without worshiping food. Move without punishing your frame. Rest without guilt. Your body carries the story of your life. Treat it with respect. When you neglect your body, other parts of you pay the price. When you honor it, you prepare yourself to love more fully and to serve more faithfully. Be generous, not only with money, but with time, attention, and compassion. Generosity uproots greed, cultivates joy, and declares trust in the future. When you give without calculating, you participate in a larger economy where love is the currency. Your small offerings, given with a cheerful heart, will ripple farther than you can see. Be honest with ambition. Ambition in itself is not wrong, but when ambition becomes hunger for praise, for numbers, for status, it will take you away from what matters. Let your ambition be for excellence in service, for doing your work well so that it blesses others. When your goals are tethered to service, success becomes sweeter and failure becomes formative. Cultivate wonder. The world is fuller than you think. Teach your eyes to see the curve of a leaf, the hush after rain, the pattern of stars. Wonder keeps your soul open. It helps you remember that you live in a beautiful, complex world that is not only about you. Wonder softens cynicism and invites praise. Be quick to apologize and slow to defend. Pride will want to protect your image. Humility will want to protect the relationship. If you have hurt someone, say you are sorry. If you are misunderstood, seek clarity without rancor. Humility is not humiliation. It is the bravery to say, I was wrong. It paves the way for reconciliation and growth. Teach your children, if you have them, not only knowledge, but how to love truthfully. Teach them the language of empathy, of boundaries, of perseverance. The legacy you leave is not just what you built, but what you taught others to carry forward. Leave them tools to live well, the ability to pray, to work, to forgive, to laugh, to rest. Do not be surprised when your plans are interrupted by a broader plan you could not foresee. Life is not a straight line. There will be detours, delays, and doors that close. Sometimes those interruptions are my hand, steering you toward people and places you would never have found on your own. Trust the detours. They are often the highways to your deepest calling. Suffering does not mean you are forsaken. Pain can make you feel abandoned and small, but it does not mean the story ends there. There is presence even in the valley. I am near to the brokenhearted, and I bind up their wounds. Pain has a strange way of making your light more visible, because the cracks let kindness and compassion pour through. Your story, even with grief inside it, is still a story of hope. Celebrate small victories. Do not wait until everything is perfect to be glad. Joy is not suspended until a future achievement. It is present in the daily wins, a task finished, a conversation healed, a kindness received. Let gratitude celebrate those wins. They are the building blocks of a life that matters. Value truth more than comfort. It is tempting to stay in the warm glow of easy answers, but truth will sometimes require you to step out of comfort and into growth. Seek truth with humility, not with pride. When you find it, hold it gently and let it guide you forward. Be slow to judge. You do not know the battles another person fights. Extend grace where you can. When you suspect someone of failing, consider their story. Compassion is a higher posture than condemnation. It invites healing rather than worsening wounds. Let integrity be your currency. Live in a way that your life speaks the same language in private and in public. When choices are unseen by others, let them still be governed by honor. Integrity builds a life that can be trusted. It becomes a safe harbor for others to anchor to. Hold hope as a discipline. Hope is not naive. It is a decision to believe in possible goodness, even when the present looks dim. Encourage hope in yourself and in others. Speak it aloud. Plant it with acts of kindness. Hope is a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it becomes. Remember that you are never alone in making changes. You are not made to carry transformation by sheer will alone. I am with you in the work, nudging, healing, teaching. Call on me in your small choices and in your large ones. I do not rush you. I walk beside you. Love the vulnerable. There will always be those in society who are ignored, disputed, or forgotten. In serving them, you touch the heart of what matters most. There is dignity in every life. Let your heart be moved to act for justice, to shelter the weak, to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. Justice that lacks mercy becomes harsh. Mercy that lacks truth becomes indulgent. Seek both. Laugh. Do not be surprised by the sacredness of joy. Laughter is a holy sound. It lightens burdens, knits people together, and reminds you that life, even with its hardships, holds delight. Do not hoard joy. Share it like bread. When you stumble, get up quickly. Do not linger in shame so long that it steals the next step. Confess, make amends where needed, and move forward with the lesson in your hands. There is mercy ready for those who turn back and seek it. Keep learning. Let humility make you a student again and again. Wisdom is less about having answers and more about knowing where to look. Read, listen, ask, be curious. Curiosity keeps your mind flexible and your heart open. Choose presence. The most important gift you can offer someone is your undivided attention. In an age of constant distraction, Presence is rare, and therefore precious. Put down your devices, look into the eyes of the person before you, and let the moment be enough. Finally, remember this. What matters more is the posture of your heart, not the headlines you chase, not the applause you crave, not the trophies you collect, but the gentleness you show, the truth you speak, the mercy you offer, and the faith you hold when no one is watching. Live to be faithful, not famous. Live to be loving, not liked. Live to be real, not refined for public consumption. I have chosen you for tenderness and for courage. I have written your name in the book of my heart, and I will not erase it. Walk in that choosing. Let it steady your feet when the ground trembles. Let it be the lamp that guides you in nights of doubt. Your life, small acts, soft words, faithful choices, will matter far more than you imagine. Go now with a courage that is humble and a love that is fierce. Keep your eyes on what lasts, the hearts you help heal, the lives you teach to hope, the mercy you show without calculating. These are the things that will outlast fame and fortune. These are the things that last into eternity. You are chosen. You are loved. This matters more.